What the fuck?
Do 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 do
It's
do.
not letting me press the fucking button.
Would it be a clean Sanchez
What the?
Media broadcast if something didn't go wrong? Is that right?
Yeah, that's fucking right. Well, anyway, since we're not going to get our lovely fucking intro music this week, welcome to the DD214 Network podcast, hosted by John Clean Sanchez and myself, Joe Tex Squillini. Y'all better look the fuck out today. Our crayons are sharp, the box is full, our bottle of glue is topped off, and our helmets are on tight, baby. We about to rism with the tism.
You need to get
Oh,
yourself
fuck.
some
How's it
water,
going?
man. Pretty good, pretty good. Just another day. 11 days away from the Clean Sanchez annual. So I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just chilling. Trying not to be stressed out, and I'm just chilling.
Tell me how's that working for you, John?
Yeah, you
You said
know.
trying not to be stressed out like you're already stressed out.
Yeah, well, you try to. Oh, there goes YouTube. The Yeah, there's always an issue with DV Mux or something with the YouTube. What's going on? The Yeah, no, I mean, when you try to depend on people to give you an answer back and they don't give you an answer back, that's the part that's kind of like defeating and like what the fuck. But you live with it, you get used to it, and you push on. That's really all that you
Mhm.
can do about it. So when they see what we're able to do, if we even have one next year. I mean, with the hopeful plans that I have for the rest of the year, however that goes, that might, the third one could or may not even happen, but we'll see what happens. I mean, the podcasts are still going to last, and it kind of goes into what I had put up a post yesterday, and then I made another post today about like the status of where the company's going and all that stuff and what we're going to do
Yeah.
from here on in. And one of those things is, we're not going to be doing any more new podcasts. The ones that exist are the ones that exist. We're going to keep to that roster. If something comes in the future, something comes in the future, but we're very happy with like the JM and Dig show, obviously the Morning Grips and BRVG stuff, DD214 Network, which is an OG show, and then Tune Into About, which is the newest show in the roster, and it's actually been doing really good. And there's been, my wife and I have been having fun with that, but I think this is it. I think we're going to keep it like this. But the post that I had made yesterday, and I've been you've kind of seen this motion with me going into yeah, I'm getting an error. This connection was disconnected, weren't able to stream to that destination. Okay, terminate, no problem. It's always something, isn't it? But you've seen this with how I've been doing the time travel files, and also how we did the dark side of gaming. Well, we're kind of
Mhm.
going more into, and then obviously we're in the middle of shooting traders. Oh my god, I got traders on my mind.
Couriers.
Couriers. I got
Yeah.
traders on my mind. I'm sorry. I'm really like, but we're shooting couriers too, and it kind of gives that feeling like, what, this may be the way forward going on. But one thing that I've always really enjoyed is watching documentaries, and I've been seeing the reactions to how the last episode of Time Travel Files came out, and people really like it. So I think I'm going to start pushing. I'm going to start lessening my face on these like videos, these mini docs I'm doing, and do it more like a traditional mini documentary. And that's what we're going to start going into. But it doesn't stop there. So the actual thing I said was, over the past few months, we've been exploring more documentary style content, and the response has been incredible. But now it's time to take the next step. So coming soon, we'll be wrapping up the next few episodes of the Time Travel Files. So I have two that I'm working on simultaneously right now.
Okay.
One is about Stephen Gibbs, who made a machine called the HDR. It's a sonic resonator, and it's supposed to physically use astral projection to time for you to time travel, and then the fourth episode is going to be about Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek.
Star Trek, yeah.
Yep, and all the theories about him being a time traveler and all that stuff, and that may be the last one for a while. But I want to go into military documentaries now, and one of like the biggest subjects right now, we kind of spoke about it not too long ago, was the whole Osama bin Laden debacle with SEAL Team 6, and who shot bin Laden. Not that you know it matters, right? But there's been a whole debacle on that. That's kind of interested me to kind of like want to start covering military document, like mini docs, but do it in episodic, because in episodes you could cover so much more than you can in the 90-minute documentary. So I think it'd be really cool to be able to do like 5 episodes of Neptune's Spear and the hunt for Osama bin Laden, then another one with the Mogadishu conflict. But these are things that we want to do, and then I've spoken to you and Jay about doing like military documentaries for DD214. So this is something that's going to be very fun for the whole company, a new direction for the whole company as a whole. And it's exciting, to be able to tell stories that we give a shit about, I said Squillini a thing about the SEALs writing books getting kicked out of the community. Yeah, well, Mark Bissonette, who was one of the guys that was, we'll talk about that next, actually, because that's actually a really, I don't know, that's a really interesting conversation, actually. But yeah, we're doing couriers, and then, this is the new direction. What's going on, Hateful? And then we also, so now this sucks for you, Squillini, because you're not here in New Jersey, but like one of the things that myself and the team have been talking about is doing a live production service for independent wrestling events and stuff like that. I know you've heard us talking about it.
I actually was going to say with that, because even, down this way, it's a huge thing.
Oh my God,
even if it's expanding at some point, you've got me down here.
Yep.
And I could, if we could get business down this way, I could put together a North Carolina team.
Yeah, I completely agree. So that we're talking about a new services thing, because we think, and it's not just like the wrestling events. It's also for making documentaries. Do you have a story that you have to be told? Let us know. Tell us the deets. Weddings, graduations, and stuff like that. So we're kind of moving towards that direction and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's really all I got about the future of the company. Things are looking really good, and I'm actually very excited with some of the new ideas that we have and things like that, And what about you? How you doing, man?
Just fucking one day at a time right now, kind of, at that point where the calendar just kicking the days off until vacation time. So kind of fucking ready for that. The kid, we finally, so since the school year ended back in May here, we've been trying to find a virtual school for her to go into because we had so many issues during the regular school year. Finally got her into one. The downside is the school year for the virtual school she's going to starts the week we're at the fucking beach on vacation. So the entire fucking week we're there.
The yep.
She's going to be sitting like on the wraparound porch at our fucking beach house with her MacBook doing fucking schoolwork from 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon while everybody else is going sitting on the fucking beach and doing shit.
That's fucking hilarious. So you're going to remember that for the rest of your life too.
Well, the thing is, and the way I look at it is what I would have done to be her age and be able to go on a family vacation. And, even if I'm having to do school, not have to worry about physically being in a classroom and just being able to sit outside.
You know how much computer. You know how much of a flex that is to your other classmates. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm at the beach right now doing school. What are you doing?
Or the friends that she's got from her years of public school and being in a physical school. It's like, hey, well, you're already sitting in class at your high school. I'm sitting on the freaking deck at the beach house listening to the waves while I'm in a fucking lecture. Like, yeah. It's
That's
it's one of those things. It's an experience, and it's going to be a learning curve for all of us because it's it's her first year with me doing virtual online schooling since COVID and all that shit. And it sucks because we're going to be on vacation, but at the same time, she also wanted to go virtual, so it's like
yeah.
you got to pick your battles in this scenario. Like the regular school year for the high school would have started the week before the beach trip, so she wouldn't have had class that week because we'd have been at the beach. Like
Yeah.
she just wouldn't have gone to school for a whole week.
But now it's
But in
virtual. It's a
this
whole different
scenario,
ball game.
now it's virtual, so you're not going to miss. I mean, I'll probably let her sit out a day or two while we're down there so she can enjoy the vacation outside of, because we go down on Saturday, we come back the following Saturday. So Saturday and Sunday, after we get down there, she'll be able to enjoy. And then I'm going to let her, sit out like 2 days that week, 2 or 3, just because it's the first week of school. They're barely doing anything the first weeks, anyways.
Yeah.
So. And we're on fucking vacation. I'm not going to torture the kid and make her.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the teenager, the one that's in high school.
That's so funny. You're just like you don't say my kid. You're just like the teenager that's living in my house.
My broke best friend, as I sometimes like to say. My
Your
semen
broke
demon,
best friend.
the crotch goblin, the one whose best parts are on the bed sheets in the landfill.
Oh my god.
That was a
Man.
joke. But,
I know.
Anyways, moving on. Moving on. So just kind of checking off the calendar as the days pass, getting there. And then just fucking business as usual, work. But I'm just waiting on. At this point, I am hoping this weekend I'll finally have my fucking lav mics so I can get this episode of Flagged for Removal recorded with the wife, so that way
Yes.
I have good audio to provide a good audio episode, good video, because it's going to be video, but with good quality audio to provide for the annual.
Yeah. Well,
If not, I'm just recording it on my fucking cell phone, and we're going to hope for the best.
Let me tell you something. My wife and I, we recorded the first couple episodes with the DJI mic minis and the iPad, and the sound.
Yeah.
Not one issue. So I mean, literally, you already know. Like the plug and play stuff is incredible.
I mean, I was going to plug them into my fucking 17 Pro Max and use the main shooter on the Max with my fucking motorized gimbal and just use the mics for the audio.
Yeah, people underestimate the quality that the iPhone has when it comes to stuff like this, and you'd be surprised how many movie productions and podcasts are using their iPhones for a clear picture. So,
well, that's the thing. Like at some point, I'm going to replace this fucking webcam I use on my with my Mac, and I'm going to get the little fucking MagSafe camera, MagSafe thing that clips to the top of your screen, to where I can just put my phone up there and just use my fucking phone camera.
Yeah,
because
I would love one of those.
The quality of the iPhone camera through continuity camera as a webcam, especially when you have, I would say a 14 Pro Max and up, is 10 times better than any fucking webcam.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So before we get into I Love my DJI Labs, they just came out with the new one too. The mic minis too. They're beautiful, man, and they're affordable too. That's the crazy part. Like DJI is definitely like they really do good. I mean, I got their drone, I got their Osmo camera, I got their lav mics. I'm curious to know what's going to be and you want to know something too? The mic minis are now $40. They dropped the price on them. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The camera kills the webcams. I mean, even if you use like the MacBook, right? And for example, if you're using Riverside, and you use like the camera for it. It's the quality is fucking amazing, which is crazy that the MacBook webcams are fucking terrible for some odd reason. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah,
you
because
can't go
that's
wrong.
the thing. Like, I'm looking on Amazon right now, and for the mic minis with two transceivers and the one mobile receiver, so it's just a USB-C receiver and a charging case, it's freaking $45. Or I can get, the two transceivers, the one main, like, big receiver,
Yeah,
and the really big charging case for $79. Like,
yeah.
it's ridiculous how cheap these things have gotten now.
Yeah, now, and from the Dutch says MacBook webcam is only 1080. Yeah, that's true, but the problem is you don't have the option to really mess with the camera like you do like an Elgato. You know what I mean? Because if I reset all my settings on my Elgato right now, the whole thing's gonna have like this that white noise on it. You know what I mean? And that's the problem that those
Mhm.
webcams have. I'm looking at the Osmo for when the Vulcan is up and running. Let me tell you something. I love my Osmo. Oh, you can't even see it. I love my Osmo. It is my favorite camera that I have ever bought used. This is the 4, and I think they're up to the 6 now. And I want to get the 6 because they have the nighttime lighting in the camera now for outdoors. DJI Osmo is the best camera I have ever used, and like I'm telling you, like the next one I get, ooh, and we're shooting couriers with this little thing. This little thing is filming a little movie. It could be done. They shot parts of Civil War with the DJI cameras. It's a good camera. You can't go wrong with it, and versatile too. I put it. I have this on my e-bike. You know.
Yeah. Because, see, like, what I'm looking at getting at some point is the Osmo Pocket 3, their gimbal one.
Their gimbal one is really nice too.
I'm just waiting for them to announce the 4, so that way the 3 goes down in price some.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming sooner than you think. They pop out products like fucking. I don't know. Does Joe have Google glasses on? Do you have Google glasses on?
No, they're the Ray-Ban Metas.
There you go. There you go. My brother-in-law just got a pair of those too, and he's been putting out fishing videos. He's loving it. He is loving it. So, real quick, we touched briefly about the situation with the Osama bin Laden Neptune spear conflict, and now another SEAL team member has come out and spoken about it, and it was the SEAL team member. Yeah, we miss him too, man. We miss him too. There's a new SEAL team member has just come out the woodwork and started talking, and he was the guy that was on the second floor that Mark Bissonette says that he was asking for people for bodies, and everyone ran up the third floor. So I think it was this guy, right? And he goes on and tells pretty much almost the same story that Mark Bissonette says, and whatever the fuck is going on in this situation, at the end of the day, I just want to say who gives a fuck? Silent professionals. But this situation is getting crazy, Squillini. Not yet from the dungeon. We're going to get to that.
Yeah, it is. I've been following it because, again, I was this all like this whole mission happened right around that end of my time.
Yeah.
So, it holds a fucking huge place in my fucking book as far as like everything that's involved with it.
Yeah. I mean, the government took away the book. He got sued out of millions of royalties, Mark Bisson, and that his name is not even on the book anymore either. Some Mark Owen is on the book now. And it's oh, thank you from the dungeon. It's a nice little patch. Hopefully, I'm able to get it made so that I can wear it. But yeah, very interesting stuff that's really going around the clock with that thing. Rob O'Neill's talking, Mark Bissonette's talking. I think everyone is waiting for the breacher right now. But I have one question, right, Squillini? One question about this whole situation. The
Okay.
movie that came. Remember Zero Dark 30?
Yeah.
If people are saying that Mark Bissonette is lying, then why did they go with his version or the other version that was been said in the AAR for the movie instead of Rob O'Neill's version? That's the thing I'm trying to figure out, because they had Catherine Bigelow and them had access to the files and all that stuff for the movie. So why did they go with that version if that version isn't the truth?
So the big thing is whenever you're looking at those movies that are made after real life events, especially military related and current events, so to speak, because I mean, what, Zero Dark 30 came out 3 years after?
No, I think it came out way sooner than that.
Yeah, it was. Well, that's what I'm getting at. Like, it was so close to when it happened.
It came out the year after, and yeah, because like the information that's been out is that Catherine Bigelow and them had access to those files days after Bin Laden was dead.
However, the thing is, there's always military advisors, and the government has a hand in how those stories can be told, and a lot of the times they'll change up key important points because of OPSEC.
But the Zero Dark 30 raid is described exactly how Mark Bissonette says it goes, not Rob O'Neill's version.
And that's the thing, though. Like, it's one of those things. There's three sides to every story. When you look at it, there's in this case, there's Rob's side, there's Mark's side, and then somewhere in the fucking middle is the truth.
It's more like the SEAL team. It's Rob, and then it's the rest of the SEAL teams.
Well, yeah.
So it's like 1 against 5.
But so still, there's the left side, the right side, and then down the middle is where everything kind of coincides, and that's usually where the truth is. It's usually, both sides have their own takes on the way events happen, way things go, stuff like that. Again, yep. but with the military, that's why we do AARs. That's why we do after action reports.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Someone lied, and that's the thing. Someone lied in the AAR. Mark Bissonette went out to say that someone lied, that one person lied on that AAR.
So what my big thing would be is I would need to see the after action report unredacted to really understand what the fuck's going on.
They have to release the files.
The problem is, like the Epstein files, they're not going to fucking release them. Not to mix the two up together, but it's just standard protocol. They're not going to release them unredacted. I don't care if Kathleen Bigelow had access to the AAR and all that shit after the fact. There was stuff that was missing from whatever files she had. If there wasn't, then chain of custody was broken, and that's a whole nother fucking issue in itself.
Yeah. Well, from the dungeon, who'd get locked up for this? The guy, Osama bin Laden's dead, so who are they going to lock up? The only thing that they're going to do is probably take away their job, and even then, it's been years after. The majority of them are not even in the military anymore, if even any of them, So there's not going to be any kind of like repercussion or punishment for it. Just internet backlash is the worst that's going to happen. It's like, but even Rob O'Neill, he just said on a podcast, he says, we do AARs and we are not always honest in them, whatever. Then goes on to say that after action report is not 100% correct. I think at this point, these are like you said, they're not going to release them, but it would be nice to know. And on top of that, the AAR was recorded on a cell phone too, which is another crazy thing, another crazy revelation to me.
So that's not as crazy. Because by that time, all operators had a phone, like a secure government phone that they carried on their person. And even me as an MP, when we go out on missions, we had them too, and we kind of used them as a body cam in tandem as like a GPS and all these other fucking tools. They were locked down, so like we couldn't put any personal shit on these damn things.
Yeah.
So, the video being recorded on a cell phone of the raid isn't as far-fetched as some people would think. But my thing is, if there was recordings of it...
There is 100% there is. That's been confirmed.
That can squash the whole fucking thing altogether. And because we already know, for the most part, how the raid went down, how things were done, the order of events getting there, just release the fucking video. You don't have to release the actual after action report.
I mean,
release the fucking video. Let us fucking see it.
To be honest with you,
give us both so we can compare the fucking AAR versus the video.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, the only thing I want to see is the picture. I just want to see the picture. That's all I want to see. They've said, and even they've all confirmed there are pictures. They have actual pictures, and they asked, what about the pictures that have been released? What's up, Gio? Gino, my boy Gino. They asked, well, what about the pictures that have been released online? And they're just like, well, those pictures aren't. They're not real. So, so there you go. That was, and then up until it's probably going to be it's probably going to be pretty quiet for the next couple of weeks until something else happens. So we'll keep an eye on that and let you guys know. But we'll probably make a documentary out of it or something. Now let's talk about this. Because our final story of the day is going to be about the Air Force making a gay bomb. But we do have more serious stories.
Fuck?
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard about this yet.
Well, we're going to talk about it towards the end of the show, so don't worry. So the Department of Defense on Monday has identified the 2 fallen U.S. service members who lost their lives last week. They were supporting Operation Inherent Resolve, and they have been identified as First Lieutenant Tyler James Feehan, 25, of Awa Beach, Hawaii, who was killed in action on July 18th, and Private Isabella Gonzalez, 19 years old, of Carrollton, Texas, who was killed in action on July 17th during a same-day enemy attack at Mawafak Salty Air Base in Jordan. Another service member was declared missing, and the individual's identity or whereabouts have not been updated. So the incident remains under investigation, and the identities of the fallen were kept internal as next of kin were notified, and another 4 U.S. service members were medically evacuated to Jordanian hospitals but soon discharged, while other personnel evaluated for minor injuries as returned to duty. Feehan was assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 55th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, 32nd Army Air Missile Defense Command, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, according to DOD, and Private Gonzalez was assigned to 1st Battalion, 57th Air Defense Artillery Regiment, 52nd Air Defense Artillery Brigade, 10th Army Air Missile Defense Command, Ansbach, Germany. And after a thorough search, U.S. military personnel found unidentified remains at the location earlier today. An Essential Command said Sunday in a statement, an examination process to verify the remains is ongoing. This is a terrible loss. 2 very young, very, very young people. I mean, the private, 19 years old, can't even drink beer yet. And this poor young lady, has now passed away. And the same thing with this first lieutenant, Tyler James Feehan. And 25 and 19, man.
Like
25
fuck,
and 19.
fresh out of fucking college too. Like,
Yeah, and I thought in Jordan, I thought nothing happened like it over there in Jordan.
I mean, there's shit going on over in all those countries in the Middle East. The thing is,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
I know over there because like I know because when I came to Third ID, they went to Jordan before Kuwait or during that time or something like that. And I had never heard of anything happening like that over in Jordan before. And Jesus Christ, man. We've lost two soldiers. We lost two of our own. You know, rest in peace. Thank you for your service. It's devastating, man, and I cannot imagine what the families are going through right now.
yeah. Well, and that's the big thing. It sucks. And D. Yes, it's a situation that we shouldn't be in to begin with, but 'tis the spoils of war, so to speak.
Yeah.
And we lose soldiers, airmen, sailors, marines all the fucking time to nonsensical bullshit. However, the other side of that coin is this young soldier, or both of these young adults wrote a fucking check, a blank check, and paid the ultimate sacrifice. It's not fun when it happens. You know, my memorial bracelet, the guy my memorial bracelet's for, he passed away 3 days before his 21st birthday overseas. 3 fucking days. It's the nature of the beast. It's the job that
That we
myself,
signed up for.
John, Jay, that we signed up for. It's the way things happen. It's an order of events. There's things that are kind of weird, so to speak, but it is something that happens. There's nothing that can really be done about it, because basic human nature, there's always going to be wars. There's always going to be conflicts. There's always going to be fighting with other countries and nations.
Casualties.
There's going to be casualties in those events. So their next of kin does get compensated via the life insurance policies that all service members are required to carry. Pretty much, the government gives us life insurance policies, and I think it's like what I don't know what it is now. I know when I was in, it was only 100K.
Yeah.
But the thing is, unlike a civilian life insurance policy where that's expected to help with funeral expenses, this, that, and the other, if you die in the line of duty or while actively serving, your funeral expenses and everything are covered by the government. So that is just 100% a check that your family gets. So, I mean, they get that. Now, is 100K enough for losing a loved one? No.
Absolutely not.
There's no compensatable dollar amount you could put on another person's life. But again, as I said, they signed this blank check to our country to protect and serve and defend it against all enemies, foreign and domestic. So they knew what they were getting themselves into, even with joining up in quote unquote a time of peace with uncertainty in the political climate and everything that's going on in the world. You can't count on it being a time of peace to be safe.
Yeah. It's we when we sign up, we expect to be put in these situations, right? But and we serve our country, not just for our country, but for the protection of our people and for the freedoms of our people. And one of the most beautiful things about serving is knowing why you're doing it and who you're doing it for. And
Hmm.
uh, this is an unfortunate incident that has happened, and war does happen, and it is unfortunate that war happens, but my god, I mean, to be so young, just starting just starting your career, and having your life being taken away from you because of different ideals. It's beyond me, man. It is beyond me.
Yeah.
Now going into that, also Bronze Star Purple Heart recipient Dick Herman, sole survivor of the Vietnam River attack, has died at 78. From the battlefields of the Vietnam War to wrangling horse at a rodeo, Bronze Star and Purple Heart recipient Dick Herman was a man who lived outside the box. This is someone that, I mean, that I've seen a couple like little YouTube videos on like that, and we always, you know we always honor our veterans and our active duty, um who are in and out, and it's so hard to celebrate someone's life after talking about someone's that was taking. But for those who do fight the good fight and continue on, and you know they do it because guys like us can't do it, right? Either because they won't let us, or because of our bodies, or of our mental capacities. There are people out there who are doing it. There's probably someone right now doing a crazy ass mission, and someone just lost their battle buddy over something crazy. Like I'm in the part in SEAL Team when Adam dies. That was, and then right before that, Alana died.
Yeah. I've
So
been
it's
because you're watching SEAL Team right now, and
mm,
a lot of events happen there,
it talks a lot of
and
there's a lot of loss on that show, a lot of loss.
I've been watching the show The Last Ship,
I've been hearing about that too, and there's a lot of loss in that one too, and how how it.
and
Uh,
they're constantly getting into situations where they're losing crewmates, they're losing sailors, they're this, that, and the other. I'm on the final season now because it only ran for 5 seasons because the lead character, the actor, passed away.
yeah,
um but like that's just that's the thing, that's the point in these shows like SEAL Team, like The Last Ship, anything surrounding the military that is the most realistic out of the entire thing is
yeah.
the death of our comrades, our brothers and sisters that we serve with.
Dude, it's
It's
literally like losing a family member. I
yeah.
like you shower with these people, you eat with these people, you eat dirt with these people. You know what I mean? Like these are people that you get rugged with and you build that bond with, and it's so heartbreaking, man. It's so heartbreaking.
Hmm.
But we got more bad news. We're gonna get all the bad news out. Next, Fort Benning soldier and partner charged in child dog starvation deaths. A federal grand jury has indicted an active duty Fort Benning soldier and his partner on charges that they starved their son to death and abused 3 dogs, causing 1 animal to die. Ladarian McCrae of Adulsta, Georgia, and Emma Bradshaw, 22, of Carson City, Nevada, each face a maximum sentence of life in federal prison if convicted, according to a July 15 release from the Department of Justice. Prosecutors stressed that the indictment contains allegations and that both defendants remain presumed innocent, and the indictment alleges that McCrae and Bradshaw willfully deprived their son of necessary nourishment from January 14th to January 28th, jeopardizing his health and causing his death on January 28th. 28th. The couple lived in military housing at Fort Benning during the alleged abuse, and McRae was an active duty Army surgeon who had recently transferred to the installation. Bradshaw reportedly joined them after his arrival and was pregnant when she moved on to the post, according to federal prosecutors. And they're also being accused of lying to the investigators, too. So this is fucking nuts to know that this is happening in the walls of where our brothers and sisters sit, man. This is fucking insane, and he needs to be I don't even put him under Fort Benning. You know what I mean? Throw him in the fucking river. You know, you let your fucking kid die, and abuse 3 animals. Like how fucked up can you be?
Mm-hmm.
How fucked up can you be? And this isn't stuff that you develop while in the military. You bring this shit into the military.
It's a sad truth when it comes to, because as far as the lines of like, this is something you're bringing into the military with you, it's a sad truth because, even with the copious background checks and stuff, depending on what level of security clearance, depends on what level of background check and looking into you they do. And if you're the type of person that's going to starve an animal, and not just an animal, but even your own flesh and blood, your own child, you showed signs of that early on.
Yeah.
You tortured small animals at childhood, as a teenager, something. You were a bully in high school. Who the fuck knows? And that's just the sad truth of it. And there's no way around it. We're always going to have bad people within the military. However,
just like everywhere else.
It doesn't matter. And it's one of those things, like, we can try to put in as many protocols and policies and, extensive background checks and whatever it might be. People are going to slip through the cracks. It's going to happen. People are going to make it, especially in the military, you would expect someone with those types of tendencies would be figured out early enough in their training to be kicked out. However, it's going to happen where they get through training perfectly fine and conform, and then boom, they're done with training. Because one thing, and John, you can attest to this. I'm sure if Jay was here, he would attest to this also. When we go through basic training and our AIT, it's a lot more structured than once you actually make it out into big army, to your division, to your company, to your unit. Because, once you make it to the unit, you have more freedom. You don't have a lot more. There's still more, though. You're not sleeping in, you're sleeping in barracks, but you can still, if you've got weekend leave, if you don't have duty on a Saturday or a Sunday, you can go off post for the weekend. You can, do extracurricular activities.
Don't forget to tell your NCO.
Now, obviously, if you're leaving post for a whole weekend, like going to go get a hotel off post somewhere or something like that, if you don't live off post, you have to, get a pass. You got to provide a travel plan. You got to do all these things. If it's miles.
What was it, like 80 or 40 miles or something like that? That if you go,
I think it was anything 60. It was like 60 miles for where I was at.
Okay, yeah, I think it was like, if you go over that, you have to
pretty
do
much
paperwork.
anything outside of an hour within base. So if you were going anywhere outside of an hour from your duty station, you had to file a travel plan. You had to have a vehicle inspection done. You had to do all these things. Everything had to be signed off on by your fucking chain of command. It was fucking ridiculous. I don't know why they had me fucking inspecting people's vehicles. I'm not a fucking mechanic.
And you want to know something? I will say if you live in a good base, right? That's like a good, like Fort Benning was close to like a lot of different places, so there were a lot of times we didn't have to fill out that paperwork. You know what I mean? Like Destin,
Yep.
like like Destin, Florida. We would go to Destin, Florida, and just go, and we didn't have to have an issue because it was so close. We were at the border of Alabama and the border of Florida, so things like that are super helpful. So make sure if you're at a base, like I hear Fort Lewis is nice. I hear there's a lot of nice stuff near Fort Lewis.
And that's the thing. It's, there's some bases that are close to fucking civilization and a lot of shit to do. Even Fort Bragg. If you want to get away from Fayetteville and you want to go to, within less than an hour drive from Fort Bragg, there's a lot of fucking places you can go. But the thing is,
Absolutely
it's
true.
like that's with back to this story. That's the sad truth. Like these people get in that shouldn't be able to be in.
Yeah.
Because they game the system or they might not have ever been caught before. And that's the way the fucking cookie crumbles sometimes. I mean, and now it's even sadder than like if we go back to Vietnam era, because Vietnam era used to be was notorious. Like my dad's era of serving was notorious for, back then your local county judges could say, hey, if you don't want to serve 90 days in jail, or, let's say they were going to get some stupid sentence for like a drug charge. It'd be, okay, you can do 3 years in jail or you can go serve in the military for 4 years. Nowadays, that's not as common. And that's what makes it, in my opinion, even worse, because we don't have judges telling people that have been caught for crimes that, hey, if you don't want to serve time in jail, you can go join the fucking military.
We had a guy in boot camp, I think, that had that option too, and he took it. And there he was.
And at the same time, though, some of those guys, they need that structure, and then that turns their entire life around.
Yep. Now let's get into a couple of more things. Troop testosterone testing is now available. Hegseth went on a whole thing about testosterone and how T is for troops. And so it's testosterone, the whole thing with the science saying that like the testosterone in men is pretty low right now, but now they're giving the troops testosterone shots to kind of bring that up.
Well, the key thing you're missing there is troops that are 30 and older.
Yes.
Are being required to undergo having their testosterone levels checked. I don't disagree because it's something I've been doing some research into. A couple of my buddies that I served with that are out now, we all gained a lot of weight. We've gotten, sluggish as we've gotten older. We're not, the same gung-ho young guys we were back in fucking Iraq in 2007 and whatnot. And it is shown that, after you turn 30, your testosterone levels start dropping.
Yep.
And that can lead to excessive weight gain. It can lead to low sex drive, a whole bunch of other, things. And getting that checked by your doctor is important. I don't care who you are. It is an important thing to do. I do like the fact that it's being offered to the troops now because there are tons.
But for men 30 and older, it is mandatory according to Hegseth.
Yep. And, that's the thing. Like 30 and older, I believe it because after 30 is when they say your testosterone levels start dropping. And, I'm not against it. It's a scientific treatment that's been proven. It helps keep our troops that are over 30 in fighting shape for whenever bullshit fucking pops off. Then it needs to be done.
Agreed.
Because I've had fucking first sergeants and sergeant majors that were, you know, in their late 30s and 40s that were, starting to pudge up a little bit and not be as lean mean as they should be, especially in a
Yeah.
position like that where your whole job is troop readiness once you get into those types of NCO roles and you're not ready yourself. I had a first sergeant that got kicked out because he was straight up fucking unable to pass tape. He couldn't pass weight.
The way a tape thing is so fucked up. Don't even get me started with that.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I mean, the dude couldn't pass a fucking PT test either.
Yeah. Oy.
However, he was like 50 and he'd been knocked down to fucking spec a few times and worked his way up to fucking first sergeant somehow.
That happens.
So,
That happens. But yeah, it is happening. So next we have the soldiers recognized in the Army National Guard 2026 Best Warrior competition. The U.S. Army Brandon Brown of Florida Army National Guard and the U.S. Army Sergeant Michael Fouts of the Arizona Army National Guard were named the 2026 Army National Guard Soldier of the Year and Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, respectively. That's fucking thing. Respectively, after winning this month's Army National Guard Best Warrior competition, that the event was held from July 11th to the 14th at Camp Blanding Joint Training Center in Florida. Brown and Fouts earned the honors after 4 days of competition against 12 other top soldiers and non-commissioned officers representing 14 states. And the competitors completed more than 25 events testing marksmanship, land navigation, tactical decision-making, and physical endurance while competing in Florida's grueling heat. Now, the two will represent the Army National Guard at the Department of the Army Best Squad competition scheduled for September 11th through the 19th at Fort Benning, Georgia. They'll be joined by Sergeant First Class Eric Friedline of the Pennsylvania Army National Guard, Specialist Caleb Chambers of the Indiana Army National Guard, and Specialist Caden Leonard of the Utah Army National Guard, who finished among the top competitors. Now, the 5-soldier team will compete against 10 active duty squads, and the 1 U.S. Army Reserve squad will also be fighting for Department of the Army Soldier of the Year and Non-Commissioner Officer of the Year honors. And this is literally the best 14 soldiers in the National Guard right now. And the competition's lead organizers said in a release, Sergeant Major Lonnie Posey, they were out here giving their all and we're happy to be able to work for them.
can you zoom in on the blonde-haired fucking dude? He needs a haircut.
Yeah, his hair is way too long. But Jay might fight that. He might be able to fight that.
I mean, so I can see with headgear on that being fine because the sides are tapered enough. So I mean, I could kind of, I guess, see. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, but look at them. Look at Swift as hell. What is that white cord there?
Fuck, that's a special schooling type of fucking thing. I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Yeah, but congratulations to these guys. I mean, we always like hearing that the National Guard are always doing their best to show that they are the better soldiers always and forever. At the end of the day, they are soldiers. They wear the same uniform. So next we have, you're going to love this one. A sailor indulging in the time-honored military tradition of energy drink guzzling was reportedly greeted with a rude surprise this week when, after polishing off a monster, he discovered the decomposing corpse of a rat at the bottom of the can. Attempted to achieve energy levels considered necessary to unleash the beast, John Witt, 29, instead discovered an actual rotting beast after finishing the drink. Witt, who said he purchased a pack of the drinks from a 7-Eleven in Norfolk, Virginia, promptly vomited several times naturally. which shared the video of the canned corpse. Let's look at this. That's right. That's right. They're right about that. That is crazy.
After I got into drinking it, and then I looked inside and found a rat. So after I found that out, I vomited. I got sick.
Jesus Christ. It's a full-size rat, he said. It's a big rat. The sailor first brought the issue to the attention of his chain of command, one member of which responded correctly, "Go to the ER, bro." Witt then checked into Portsmouth Naval Hospital, where he said medical personnel informed him that it was more than likely with the chemicals that are in Monster that it should be okay. Unleash the embalming fluid. "My antibodies should be able to fight it off," Witt said, adding that the medical staff wanted to closely monitor the situation for the next 48 hours. Now, Witt, a longtime beast unleasher, told WTKR that he has no plans to ever consume another Monster or even closed canned beverages for that matter. "I'm never going to be able to drink anything that I can't see again." Yep. And select reports, meanwhile, suggest that Master Splinter, having gotten on in years, may have confused the Monster can for mutagen, the chemical colloquially known as the ooze. Keep drinking that crap and you're going to keep getting rats in it. He's lucky he had a rat in it and not a heart attack. And there goes Squillini. You better make sure there's not a fucking rat in there. You know what the mafia thinks about rats.
But the white cord is a German marksmanship badge.
German marksmanship.
That's authorized only in dress uniform. First off, this is just pre-workout, pre-made. 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0 carbs, all vitamins. And 200 milligrams of caffeine.
You and Gino need to chill out with that ghost. All right. So in 1994, you ready? Now, this is the story that Squillini has been waiting for. You ready for this, baby? In 1994, U.S. Air Force's Wright Laboratory in Ohio were pressing the bounds to question, fellas, is it gay to fight for your country? And in the early aughts of the 1990s, the Pentagon was working on developing a whole host of non-lethal chemical weapons that would render an enemy force incapable of being anything other than amorous or annoyed. Within a 3-page classified document came a blink and you miss it line posing using chemicals that affect human behavior so that morale and discipline in enemy units is adversely affected. One distasteful but completely non-lethal example, it continued, would be strong aphrodisiacs, especially if the chemical also caused homosexual behavior. In a word, a chemical that would make enemy soldiers sexually irresistible to one another, striking a blow to morale. D, is this the gay bomb? Yes, this is the gay bomb.
So first thing, that explains a lot about the Marine Corps. They had to have been the test subjects.
You don't think the Army was a victim of that testing either, Squillini?
It was the Marines and the Navy.
My wife just said, "Come on."
They have fucking pages on Pornhub of this. Like, come on.
Did you hear what she said? She said they have pages of this on Pornhub. Come on.
Unfortunately, my state has locked down Pornhub. I can't see it anymore.
Pages and pages of it.
Squillini said that they locked down Pornhub in his state. He doesn't know.
Oh
That's what you pieces of shit get. Don't get that stuff in your food to keep you from getting erected in the military during basic training.
It's a fucking myth. It's a myth.
I don't know, dog. I didn't have one boner when I was in boot camp.
I woke up every morning fucking hard as a board.
Not me, dude. My wife thinks it was the water. I think it was the yellow dust that we saw on the floors on base when we would be marching. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? The yellow dust? Yeah, I showed that to my wife on it. She was like, "What's that yellow dust?" I was like, "Oh, that's the stuff that kills our sperm." Listen,
God.
so yeah, back to the gay bomb. So so the Randy chemical, later dubbed the gay bomb, was just one of
The
was
Randy
one.
chemical.
Yeah, that's what it was
You
called.
can
Yeah.
tell this was developed in the fucking 70s when it's called the Randy chemical.
Yo, and then it says it was just one of many that the Wright Laboratory explored in its proposed dubbed Project Sunshine. So, among others, Project Sunshine contained a litany of ideas ranging from the absurd to impractical, including making a chemical that made personnel very sensitive to sunlight, making a weapon that would attract swarms of enraged wasps or rats to an enemy position, and the development of a chemical that caused severe and lasting halitosis. Dude, they were cooking, man. They were cooking up in the right lab, weren't they? The lab requested $7.5 million over a 5-year period to make their harebrained ideas reality. The funding was not forthcoming. It did, however, eventually make its way to the mind of Tina Fey and 30 Rock. And as the saying goes, there are no bad ideas, only great ideas that go horribly wrong, but perhaps the Wright Laboratory is an exception to that rule. So can we still use the gay bomb to like those like white supremacist groups that hate gays and then just make them gay? I mean,
Honestly,
if the
I'm not
technology
going to say it's a
exists,
bad
can we
idea.
still,
The tech's already there.
no one's dying. No one's dying.
Let's just,
Right?
put some troops out there with some gas masks on, and instead of it being a bomb, we just put it into like CS grenade canisters for crowd control. Ooh, the next major city riot.
The next major city riot. There you go.
We just throw a bunch of fucking gay bomb fucking grenades into the crowd.
You're gay. You're gay. You're gay. Everyone's gay. Everyone gets
we're just gonna make gay nades now,
gay nades.
Sorry.
Yeah, I like it. This would have been such a good story on Pride Month. I'm telling you. So did the military spread the gauging to make everyone around the world? So did the military spread the gauging to make everyone around the world gay? I mean, it's possible. It's look at the yellow dust. Look at the yellow dust. Is all I have to say.
Follow the yellow dust road, my friend.
I'm telling you. So we got a little time before we end. So let's talk about Avengers. What did you think of that trailer, man?
I mean,
I'll tell you one thing. The thing that makes that trailer so good is the fact that Spider-Man's not in it.
oh god. And then you're gonna go see the movie, and it's gonna be like 90% fucking Spider-Man, and you're gonna be pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah, I will fucking flip my lid. I actually have a memorandum here about why I hate Spider-Man.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, a lot of people I see on YouTube are saying nostalgia kills the Avengers. I'm like, this is the final farewell for them from Fox. Yeah, I mean, nostalgia always wins, does it not? This is,
I will say I'll agree with Gio on one thing.
What was that?
The new Falcon, that is now America's ass.
Oh, the Spanish dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's pull this up. Let's pull this up.
And then it's awesome seeing fucking Sir Ian McKellen back as Magneto.
Yeah. I already bought my tickets for December 17th, so I love nostalgia. Hell yeah. So wait a minute, where is it? All right, there he is. Let's look at this. I got to show this to my wife. So we got flat ass Sebastian Stan right here.
He's white. He can't help it.
And the other actor is Joaquin. Well, the character is Joaquin Torres. Oh my God, what's the actor's name? Danny Ramirez. Okay, so Danny Ramirez here. Okay, so Captain America, they made the big joke how he had America's ass, and then now you have the Falcon, of the new Captain America, and now you have this new Falcon, baby. Look at this. So you know how you had the joke Captain America was America's ass, but look at the new Falcon, and then next to Sebastian Stan.
Well, we know he got a big dick.
Oh my God, that's right. Sebastian Stan's dick is in that TV show. That's right.
What?
Squillini's like, what? When he played Tommy Lee.
So even though they said it was a prosthetic, I don't believe it.
You think that was? You think? Listen,
Jesus Christ, Frenchie.
Listen, Bucky is America's dick, and now this new Falcon is now the new America's ass. Because I mean, we all saw Captain America. The dude looks like a fucking nomad. I don't think I could fucking go back enough. Jesus Christ. Are you okay, Squillini?
I've got to fucking say something to D. I've got to fucking say something to D's last comment there. How about you go read a fucking comic book? Because Captain America's Hydra counterpart is not called Hydra Captain America. It's Captain Hydra. You uneducated, says you love fucking Marvel swine.
Listen, he's a DC guy. I'm with him on there. He's a DC Comics guy, but he likes the MCU movies. I will back him up.
Because
on
what's
that.
DC actually done for us so far?
The Batman.
I'm not sure if you watched the same fucking movie I watched.
I sure did watch the same fucking movie, and Robert Pattinson is a damn good Batman. I will die on this hill.
All he's missing is some sparkles.
That's fine. Bruce Wayne can have some sparkles. And it's funny, too, because we're going to see Sebastian Stan as well. The Batman, man, you're all haters. The only reason why you guys don't like is because you guys didn't even appreciate year one. But yeah, we get a bunch of really cool footage of I feel like this movie's just going to be predominantly in the fucking X-Mansion itself.
Nah.
But what were some takeaways you had? I first off, the fucking Fantastic Four swag the drip is insane. Look at the jackets, dude.
Yeah.
No? Look at that. Do you see Spider-Man anywhere? Because I don't.
Fucking Namor.
No, okay, now wait a minute. There's something that, like, and I was talking to Gio about this earlier about Namor. There's a whole comic book storyline with Namor and Storm and
Sue,
Namor. Yeah, and Namor and Sue are going to be in there's that scene where the Fantastic Four meets the Atlantean.
There's a whole fucking comic book storyline where Sue Storm's a fucking slut. She slept with everybody. So did She-Hulk, though.
What are you talking about, D? When they show the new Avengers? Who, this one? God damn it. This one right here?
My question is, where's Bob?
Yep, that's
I was going to say, is that Ghost?
That's Ghost, yeah. Because I thought I had made the mistake earlier and I said it was Taskmaster, but Taskmaster died in Thunderbolt, so that's Ghost.
Yeah, that's so she was first introduced in the second Ant-Man movie, in Ant-Man and the Wasp was when she was initially introduced.
We got so I was reading this theory that they think that this is a old statue of Doom right here. which could be true. And then we get this dope ass shot. And you know this too, that you see these downed robots over by Thor 2. Could those be Doombots?
Sentries.
I don't know, man. Because
it's been confirmed they're sentries.
It has not been confirmed. It has not been confirmed. Because people don't know.
They're trying to say it's not been.
No, don't do that, because it could be a war room scenario in the X-Men war room. That this is complete. Those legs are completely different than the one that are behind Cyclops. They are robot legs, yes, but those are not Sentinel legs at all.
We will agree to disagree.
Those legs are too short and stubby to be a Sentinel leg, because even a foot of a Sentinel leg is about the size of 3 minivans on top of each other.
Let's say it's not Doombots or Sentries. It's fucking Ultron.
I think, well, James Spader's in the movie. Or James Spader's coming back to be Ultron and Vision Quest. That's what it is.
Yeah, but he's not going to be robot Ultron. He's going to be human Ultron.
Yeah, and that's fine. No, I think this is more a Doombot than it is a Sentinel. And then we get Cyclops with this dominatrix belt around his legs and no yellow underpants, but he's still wearing the blue uniform, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Listen, I am okay without the yellow underpants. It doesn't have to be 100% fucking comic accurate. It's blue and yellow accented fucking outfit. It's close fucking enough.
Yeah, but Superman got the underpants back. Why can't Cyclops get it?
Because James Gunn sucks DC's dick, okay?
Yeah, and then and then we get Shang-Chi for the first time in 5 fucking years.
Fighting fucking Gambit.
They can leave the underwear in DC. Yeah. Listen, I'm still not a fan of Gambit's exo fucking shield top there. I'll be the first one to say it. But it is nice to see that the kinetic energy is actually being shown in this movie, unlike in Deadpool and Wolverine, where they didn't show it that much. But you get a full-on look.
Gambit also was only in Deadpool and Wolverine for a total of 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So, and one thing I will say that has come out, and this was from Channing Tatum.
They didn't want to spend the budget.
Is that he's not doing the same accent for Gambit in this that he did in Deadpool and Wolverine, because there was so much backlash. There was so much backlash because his accent was too fucking. You know what's
really fucked up about that? Channing Tatum is from New Orleans. How do you fuck up an accent from your own hometown?
Because he's been in Hollywood, stuck in fucking Hollywood's cock too long that he forgot.
Well, he's trying to do the French thing too much. And this is probably one of my favorite things here is Loki, not at the Tree of Life or the Tree of the Multiverse.
Seeing him in a trailer, I was like, Loki's got to be in this, because the way season 2 ended.
Yeah, I think Doom is going to take his shit.
Mm-hmm.
I really think Doom's going to come in and be like, nah, this tree is mine now, motherfucker. And because there's something here in the trailer where they show, there's this scene was pretty cool, where we have a Romanoff and then the Mystique changing into Romanoff here. And it's cool to see Mystique back in there, and obviously Ian McKellen or Patrick Stewart, the Langs. Now, I want to ask you something. Now, a lot of people are talking about this little scene right here, right? Do you think he's holding Sue, or do you think he's holding Franklin? Because every scene that we see of Sue Storm, her hair is absolutely super straight, right? And that could be argued that he's mushing it around there and stuff like that. But a lot of people are saying that this is Franklin.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
I mean, her hair's straight. However, if you obviously context clues in this scene is they've been battling.
Yeah. I also want to say, too, that this kind of looks like a forehead right here, too. And that's why I'm kind of like, looks a little small. But we'll find out in December, right? Then this cool shot here, and you see Sue Storm, but the water is like all spread out like Moses, and Namor is considered like the Moses of the MCU in a way. Like his character has always been portrayed that way. I love this shot with the stained glass window on the roof. I've never seen anything like that before. Give it to me. And this, yeah, look at those legs. Look how big that Sentinel leg is.
That's a fucking pillar for a building.
That moves.
Okay, it's a Sentinel leg.
Yeah, I think this is a war room scene. I don't know, but this was the first thing that we got of Cyclops, and then we got Namor flying. Is he flying to Sue Storm to start the affair? Who knows? Thor. Now this is pretty cool. This shot right here, the two finger like no.
He's just like, fuck off.
Yeah. Gio pointed out too that Doom's got like this chain link thing like under his mask there. They got to kill Jean Grey in this. Jean Grey she's been fucking dead. Well, she's been dead for like 20 years. What are you talking about? Did you not watch X-Men The Last Stand? She died.
Our new version of Jean Grey comes out at the end of this month in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yeah. McDonald's spoiled that one. I don't think this is the same X-Men, same universes as that one. It is. They've confirmed that part, that this is the Fox X-Men.
But at the same time, because this is Battle World and he's going between the dimensions and the universes, it's combining. So between this and Secret Wars, which is the next Avengers movie, they're also going to be pulling in the new like main timeline MCU version of the X-Men and shit too.
Yeah, now look, you see that billboard, that board in the back there, and it shows three different universes. Those are the movie is going to be a crash landing of three different MCU universes coming together. One of them I'm assuming is Fox because we have the Fox X-Men. Okay, the second one is obvious. Main timeline, and the third one is it the Fantastic Four? Is it 868?
Fantastic Four, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be the 868. Yeah, so it's Fox, MCU main, Earth 868. So this is
which
the
is why
same
I'm
X-Men.
telling you. Which is why I'm telling you, Spider-Man is going to be in this movie.
Oh, I definitely believe he is going to be.
Well, here's the thing. So
I believe it. I don't want to believe it, but he will.
The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, it's been confirmed that his universe is the same universe as the Fox X-Men.
Yeah.
So we're going to definitely also get Tobey Maguire in this. If they bring Andrew Garfield, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get... Yeah, I don't know if we'll get Toby, but that'd be nice. I think they're going to save all the good stuff for Secret Wars, because Secret Wars is more, that's where more of the characters should be showing up.
With Secret Wars, they'd have to bring fucking Tom Hardy back as Venom.
Well, Tom Hardy was already brought in in the post credits scene of that one movie. So I mean, he's
of the
already,
last Spider-Man movie, yeah.
Yeah, so he's moving into it. Is Spider-Man going to be in this one? Yeah, I mean, he was a Civil War. What movie did
that was
fucking...
that was No Way Home was where Garfield, Maguire were in it, and then at the end, Hardy's Eddie Brock was...
No, I'm talking about, there was a whole different thing where like where Spider-Man like fought with the Avengers or something like that.
Oh yeah, that was Civil War. That was when Stark first recruited Spider-Man, because that was when the Sokovia Accords were getting signed.
Okay, yeah,
And
so
Cap,
it was
and
yes, the
half the
Civil
team
War.
split away from the other half, and they were fighting, and you know, Tony found out that fucking Bucky killed his fucking parents, and boohoo, tears in my beer, fucking
Yeah.
bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean this little I mean for those who don't even think about it, this board back here answers a lot of questions. And I mean honestly, just stare at it a couple minutes and you'll see a lot of things in there, but it is the X-Men universe. That is the Fox X-Men universe. So whether you like
I'm
it or
trying to
not,
see.
you know.
Because I see a lot of main universe MCU, because obviously we've got fucking David Harbour, we've got US Agent,
The only one, yeah,
aka
the
fucking
Fantastic
Captain
Four
America Wish.
yeah, Fantastic Four are the only odd men out right here. That's it.
Yeah, there's no X-Men in this specific scene. However, they probably already deduced, and it probably was fucking Reed that did it. Figured out
Reed
the
be
other
fucking around
universe
too
being
much.
pulled in. Well, yeah, Reed's always been fucking around too much. I'm not sure if you read the fucking Fantastic Four comics any, but
I have.
9 times out of 10, the reason some fucking earth-shattering event was happening was because Mr. Fantastic took one of his lab experiments a little too fucking far.
There you go. So that's good. That's doom for you, and the whole argument that takes place after Days of Future Past. A lot of those movies, those 3 movies are not they're timeline movies. Anything could happen, and they could literally pull the X-Men from whatever timeline or whatever year it is that happens before Days of Future Past. Because the X-Men have been fucking around with time travel since the early 2000s movies. So.
Well, and that's the thing. If we really look at the Fox X-Men universe, yeah, there's the ones that came out after X-Men X2 and Last Stand, but most of those were before the first X-Men movie in a timeline order. So, McAvoy and Fassbender played the young version of fucking Stewart and McKellen's Xavier and Magneto. And so, we're not going to see any of those actors because we're looking at Doom pulled in the later end of the fucking timeline versions of those people.
Now, look, I loved those movies, First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. I loved those movies, but they were not fan favorites for whatever reason. A lot of people did not like them.
What was it? Dark Phoenix was
Dark
the
Phoenix.
other one.
That was the last one, right? Yeah, well, because remember, the guy who wrote Dark Phoenix was the guy who wrote X-Men: The Last Stand, and it was the exact same fucking movie with different actors.
It was a little bit different.
Ever so slightly, but it was, literally the scene where they go into they literally filmed.
It was the Dark Phoenix storyline. It was the Dark Phoenix storyline done comic accurately, where the way they did it in Last Stand was so fucking off the wall. It wasn't comic accurate. But then that's the thing I hate about fucking X-Men about fandoms a lot of the time, because Last Stand came out and they fucked up the Dark Phoenix storyline horribly. And fans were pissed about it. Then Dark Phoenix comes out 15 years later. They do it accurate to the fucking comic, and then fans are pissed about it.
No, the problem is that the movie was exactly the fucking same as The Last Stand with a couple of added things. They literally shot the whole neighborhood scene. The neighborhood scene with the fucking White House, they reshot that whole sequence. And Dark Phoenix was a poor piece of shit. I'll say it. Dark Phoenix was not a good movie, but the 3 movies before that were pretty fucking good, if you ask me.
That was the reason I remember the Dark Phoenix. The only reason I remember it is because me and my wife's first date, when we first started dating, we went to a Japanese restaurant that we both really like, and then we went and saw Dark Phoenix in theaters. And then I about fell asleep during that fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, it was Days of Future Past was the best one out of all of them. That to me, that I thought that was the best one.
I just love the fact that they had Peter Dinklage be fucking the dude that created the Sentinels.
Yeah. So I want to read you real quick before we get to our final thought, my Spider-Man memorandum, right? Now, this is going to be now, if anyone ever asks me, I'm going to print these out in little like cards and hand them out to people. And these are my reasonings, right? He never learns. Okay. He has this whole great responsibility thing and somehow acts surprised when everything backfires. His secret identity is a fucking disaster. Everybody knows who the fuck he is. I don't understand. Number 3, I don't understand why he's always broke. Number 4, he is constantly pulling fucking punches, okay? I don't know if it's because he's afraid he's going to break his wrist or I don't know. He never calls for backup, so he never relies on a fucking team. His love life is a fucking train wreck, okay? He jumps from Mary Jane to Gwen Stacy to Black Cat and then repeat every single time. He doesn't shut the fuck up. He creates half of his own problems. He refuses to get better fucking costumes and he's just way too fucking nice. He is not a good hero. So now that is...
he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Friendly should not be in the name of a hero. You got to get it done, and being your fucking friend is not how you get shit done. Especially being neighborly. But guys, thank you.
And on the fucking love life thing, towards the end of all that, his life became no longer a disaster because him and MJ got married and had a fucking kid. So, fuck off.
Yeah, but then, you could also argue that he made everyone else
forget
then MJ
himself, died.
And,
well,
whose fault was that? Whose fault was that?
Osborn. That was Osborn's fault.
But if it wasn't for Spider-Man existing, Ozzy Osborn, Norman Osborn, or the Green Goblin would never have went after her if Spider-Man never existed. So again, Spider-Man has created his own problems.
No. But wait, when she died, it was because Doc Ock switched fucking brains with fucking Parker. And Parker ended up in Doc Ock's body. And Doc Ock ended up in Peter's body.
Oh, too easy. So he's weak-minded too. Even better. Another reason to add to why he is such a stupid hero. He's weak-minded.
But in current movie timelines, nobody knows his fucking secret identity because he had Doctor Strange wipe it from everybody's fucking memory.
Yeah, but he's still creeping on Mary Jane. And if he doesn't want anyone to know who he is, why the fuck is he creeping on her? Okay, so now another thing to add onto the list, he's a fucking creep. I could go on all fucking night with this shit. I could go all night.
I still say Miles Morales is a better Spider-Man than Parker any day.
I don't care who is Spider-Man. They all suck. They all suck. But guys, thank you so much for coming.
Kind of like you do. Kind of like you will when you get hit with a gay bomb.
There you go.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to another episode of DD214. Next week, we might have figured out how to manufacture gay bombs.
Yep. And you better watch out, white supremacists, because we're coming for you. And we're going to be throwing gay nades at you. We're probably going to get in trouble for that, right? Who cares? But guys, thank you so much.
I broke the golden rule of not saying fuck within the first 5 minutes, so fuck it.
I did it. I did it this week too. I've been fucking up all types of shit with the algorithm. But guys, thank you so much for coming to another episode. We truly do appreciate you coming by. We are 11 days away from the Clean Sanchez annual, so make sure you come and check that out. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a nice personal time. We're going to have a good time, and it's going to be podcasts for a couple of hours. And yeah, make sure you guys come and check us out. It's going to be a doozy. It's going to be one of the funnest things that we do. So make sure you are there. Also, make sure you check out the JM and Diggs podcast on Thursdays at 9 p.m. tune in and tube out every week. We just released a Cape Fear episode, and we got a Silo episode coming out very, very soon. And then obviously morning rips Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But yeah, if you do, I think you got it this week.
Yep.
So you go ahead and take the stage, my friend.
I mean, we've touched on a lot of things today. And the big thing I'm going to circle back on from our conversation is definitely the 19-year-old and the 25-year-old that we lost in a conflict overseas. Yeah. And that, like I said earlier, that's a very common occurrence when we're in these conflicts. I wouldn't call it a war with BFE fucking Middle Eastern country XYZ right now. It's a conflict because,
I agree.
Idiotic fucking people in power decided that they have nothing better to do than fucking put us in a situation we have no business being. With that said, for all of you out there, we're all at that age, at least most of our audience is at that age where we've lost someone. Whether it's a family member, a friend, a family member of a friend that we knew in passing. We've all lost. Loss is a huge thing in life. Every day we wake up is another day that we are blessed to still be here. We ask here at DD214 that you don't make that day come that you're not here sooner than it has to. If you're in a time of crisis or you feel like nobody is listening, nobody is there for you, reach out. Reach out to me. Reach out to John. Reach out to an old friend, a family member, someone. Talk about it. If you don't want to reach out to anybody you know personally or the two of us here on this show, you can always contact... Where's the fucking band?
I got it.
Okay. You can always contact the National Suicide Hotline by texting or calling 988 or dialing 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-TALK. At the National Suicide Hotline, they have licensed, credentialed specialists available 24/7, 365 to speak with you, provide you resources, get you the help you need. Whether it's just an ear to listen to, to have so you can vent, if it's crisis intervention, therapy services, psychiatric services, whatever it might be, they're there to help in that time of need. We asked for 168. A lot of other people ask you to just give them another 24. Give them another 24. Make it the next day. Make it the next day. We ask you to give us another week. We want it week to week, 168 hours. We always show up for you guys. We expect our audience to show up for us when it's time. We care. We care because we've lost. We've lost people to 22 a day. We've lost people to, war and all those other things, illness, sickness, whatever it might be. We've all lost somebody, and we don't want to lose y'all too. So just continue to push through, make it here week in and week out. We'll be here for y'all. Y'all be here for us.
Very well said. Very well said. And I appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys coming by. DD214 Network will be back next week at 7 p.m. We are still awaiting Jay's arrival to come back. The Return of the King will be coming back. KO, nice seeing you, my man. Guys, you guys have a great night. You guys drink water. Remember, if I see you with white socks, I'm gonna fucking knock you out. So black socks, shorts over the knees.
Question.
Yes.
What if I'm actively in the Navy and I have to wear my dress whites, which require white dress socks? because that's where they wear the white dress shoes. I don't think it's fair that you would punch me or knock the shit out of me if I wear white socks when I'm required to by regulation.
All right, if it's under 670-1 or whatever equivalent it is to your company or command, it's allowed. We're good. We're good. We love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.